Welcome back to another element. It's your girl, your mistress, your dominatrix, Morgan Sherm. I'm in the building with the fellas again. We're a person short, but we still locked in. So I want to throw it over to everybody. Just do a wellness check. See how you doing. First off, I want to talk to you. What's going on, show?
Chilling. I'm fresh off another release, more recording to go.
This was
Twitch
like
streaming to go.
12 minutes.
Wait, this one is 10. 10. It's still under 10. We still clocking in under 10.
So you last longer than the average European male.
But business as usual. I'm chilling.
All right. Neo, how are you feeling? How
I'm
you
doing
locked
well.
in?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed, highly favored. It's an international sex symbol, so it's life.
All right. I'm gonna ask myself the question since nobody was gonna ask me how I'm
shit.
feeling.
Our bad. How are you?
I've had a tumultuous week. The internet can be a very vile place, sometimes. And I had to deal with some, I'll say extracurriculars when it came to a certain social platform this week. And just being caught up in the midst of blatant transphobia. But was able to navigate and recover from that.
All right.
So we good. We good today. We feeling a lot better this morning. I'm like a few Red Bulls in, but
Okay, let's get it.
I think I'm good. I think
Let's
I'm
get
good.
it.
All right. So I want to jump right into things though. This past week we had two rappers and their affiliates
Yep.
get in trouble with the law. That being Chicago's own G Herbo and New York's Casanova.
Yep.
Without going into too many details,
Because
exactly.
it's all alleged at this point.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's all alleged.
Rapper Casanova is accused of conspiring in terrible acts of violence.
Rico a bitch.
I want to say the most violent offense he's not associated with was the murder of a 15-year-old.
Right.
Yeah.
I
heard about that.
in New York this past year or whatever. His lawyers are saying that they expect him to be fully exonerated. Once all of the facts of this case are released.
It's a Rico. Rico's is hard to beat.
Yeah, G Herbo, him and his partners, several individuals were accused of
Doing what the East Side is
embezzling,
Known for.
allegedly. Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly, embezzling some funds and utilizing that to get private jets and all of this other stuff. Using fake identities and such. G Herbo's people are saying that again once the facts come out, we'll be able to see that he's in the clear. Again, all of these actions are alleged. However, before Casanova turned himself in, he released a video.
Yeah.
And I'll let you hear some of that now.
I'm innocent. That's one. Two, I've been fighting my whole life, so I'll get through this. But just understand how they can get you jammed up. You don't know nobody, you ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and they still get you jammed up. Rappers, we are a target. Just be careful out there. Watch who you associate with. Watch who people bring you around. And I'll see y'all soon, God willing.
Yeah, with the things that Casanova has said, I was listening to a conversation the other day, and I wanted to throw it out to you all first to hear your reactions to it. Somebody was even saying that this goes back as far as Juice World, with the government looking into where funds are coming from. If you are unfamiliar with the Juice World situation,
God bless the dead.
yes, Juice World was on a private jet, landed at Midway Airport. Apparently, the pilot.
This isn't alleged.
Well, no, it's not alleged. It did happen. Pilot recognized that there were some extra things on the plane.
Pounds.
And,
Lots of them. Cali Green.
He informed the authorities. The authorities came in.
He tried
Juice
to
WRLD
swallow
tried
the perks,
to, yeah, he tried
which
to,
don't even make sense. You already got caught with 20 pounds. I don't think having 10 perks gonna change anything.
But yeah, unfortunately, Juice WRLD did not survive that overdose.
Same thing happened to ODB. A bag of dope bust in his belly.
No shit.
Wow, but So Casanova has indicated that he thinks that rappers are being targeted right now. What are your thoughts? I'll start with you, Neo.
I mean, that's not a thought. You look, especially in New York. And mind you, I'm not from New York. I haven't. Last time I've been to New York was when we rang the Nasdaq bell. So I'm not, because I'm looking at something Hassan Campbell saying right now, and I don't want to. He's speaking about Chicago stuff. He don't know what he's talking about, so I don't want to talk about New York stuff. But we already know that from Bobby Shmurda, they targeted GS9.
I mean, they coined the term hip hop police.
The hip hop police. So they got GS9 through Bobby Shmurda. We already know from the Rat Boy, whose name I won't even mention, Ratty Rat, when they took down Treyway. Right before Pop Smoke got popped, a week before Pop Smoke got popped, the Woos and the Chews and the 9 Trey Brims got raided. So it was only a matter of time before they came after the what's they call it, the Gorilla Stones or whatever. Yeah. It was only a matter of time. So they've been doing this consistently, especially on the East Coast. So I really don't get it how they didn't think they was coming from them. Like you're literally and all like majority of places I just said was all in Brooklyn. Yeah. Like a week before Pop Smoke got popped, the Woos and the Chews and the Brims got swept up. And then they went and got Treyway. And then they went and got whatever GS9 was. They from Brooklyn too. So clearly the feds are in East New York, heavy, posted up. They're on Instagram. They're on live. They watching people. And they literally just waiting to set you up with a RICO case. And to let you know, and waiting to catch somebody up. And they going to start snitching in the crew. And that's all it is. And so like, and let's be clear. This has always been a part of music. You know, I remember reading, I wasn't there, this is hearsay, but I remember hearing that shit. Louis Armstrong had Capone and them behind him.
No shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, I remember hearing that. I wasn't there, clearly. I wasn't, as far as I know, I wasn't alive.
But, you know, seeing what we see now.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you going I mean, and then, especially if you watch Drink Champs, now that all them is past their statute of limitations, they telling on themselves, too. So this has always been what it was. But previously, no one was taking pictures. No one was sending like that. I was reading the thing. They got text. You guys ever heard of Telegram, Signal? Like, why is you like
on text?
You ever heard of Edward Snowden, my guy? Man. Like, you know, like it's certain things you don't do. So if you a rapper, if you have profile, you have to know that there is literally an arm of the police and or government that studies social media and builds up cases on people. Like I've just named 4 or 5 whole crews that done been taken down. Like
in the past 3 years.
You cannot.
4 years.
This is a cycle. They're coming for people. They're making examples out of people.
Yep.
And you literally on the song telling them your block.
That's the shit. We also know what the fuck is going on. It's crazy. You can go on YouTube and
I'm
look
not
at the
from
comments.
New York, but I'm sitting there like,
everything.
So the Woos got locked up.
Yeah,
the
that's
Chews
crazy.
got locked up. I don't know. And you know what? Shout out the Woos, Chews, the Brims, the Treyway. I don't know what none of that means. We should know all that. But I should not know what that means 1,000 miles away. I have not been to New York since we rang the Nasdaq bell. There is no way that I should know what's going on and what factions is clicking with what factions. But there's people online who get online and tell this stuff, snitching on that. First you snitch on yourself. Then you got the people who turn around and snitch on you. And then all the media, all the feds got to do is log into YouTube and Instagram. They don't even need to go you going to put the case on yourself.
Yeah.
But the feds is definitely after people. I think the timing with Herbo is terrible because he's doing all this good stuff in the community.
Man.
Yeah. He's talking about his PTSD. He's opening schools. I see that he's totally turned the corner. So I pray that Herbo swerves his way out of this.
Absolutely.
Regarding Casanova, I hope it's just a RICO case, and I hope that they just trying to throw a wide net and just grabs everybody in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope so.
Yeah, that it's just simply a wide net. Because right now, like even though now that we know what other people was doing, you don't have pictures of Jay-Z and them. Like Jay might have rapped about dope, but you don't actually see pictures of them standing next to scales on the like you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like Master P might have been the ice cream man, but you literally they don't have pictures of it. And not only do they not have pictures of it, they don't have videos of them standing in the room with their co-defendants and niggas with felonies and guns. Like, it's just not, I mean, it's hearsay.
Or even just on private jets. Like, to be honest, if I'm looking at if I'm matching your resume with your performance, and then I'm saying it's no reason why this person should be having access to this or this, okay, let me start looking and see where that's coming from.
Yeah, how you spend, where the money come from. Mm-hmm. And then it'd be different if it was hearsay, where somebody said, I heard.
Right.
Morgan did this, or I heard Neo did that. But if I'm literally on the jet, like I'm taking pictures of me, not Bow Wow challenge, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm really doing it. You're drawing
unwarranted attention to yourself. Like
I'm not from that era. You know what I'm saying? Like what Jay say, when we was on the grams, when I had grams, we wasn't taking pics. Like, you know, you don't.
I can't even compute it. I don't.
And it's like, I think that it is.
I have never jaywalked.
And unfortunately,
I respect all laws.
I said, and unfortunately, I think that, there are some people who will be made examples of in this current moment. And like I said, I just pray that Herbo is straight, you know? Like,
that kind of hurts.
That's the youngin'. Again, I have no connection with anything with Casanova, but I do say that just getting more black men or more black people in jail.
He just got out of jail and being there forever.
When you watch interviews of him, he talks about how he trying to stay out the way.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, man.
Yeah, even when the little rap boy came at him, he just did his best to step away from it. So I pray that Cass get up out of it. I think it's just a RICO case.
But it's also being in proximity to these people.
Because the same guys, I've seen them in the video with them.
But they also grabbed him last.
Yeah, well,
So that's also kind of weird.
That's why that Pop Smoke thing was weird, because Pop Smoke was in L.A. when the raid happened in Brooklyn. And they raided everybody the week he moved to Hollywood Hills. And I'm not saying that there's a connection, but we know how the streets work. And if you just so happen to disappear the week that everybody get raided, even if you just had the best luck in the history of the universe, the streets is not going to view it that way.
No.
I'm just going to put prayers up for everybody. Yeah. Staying on the Chicago tip, I do want to switch it real quick. Lupe took to his Instagram yesterday in regards to the COVID-19 vaccine. So in London, there are about 800,000 vials or distributions of the vaccine that'll be going out Tuesday from Pfizer. They have a vaccine for COVID-19, and Lupe stated, that he's not allowing fans into his concerts without the vaccine. So, you being a music artist, Clint, how would you respond to a situation like that? Is that something that you've thought of?
Hell yeah. Just thinking, like, when I go on tour and then have to, deal with the merch booth after the show. You know how many motherfuckers touch me in the course of a night, let alone a 2-month-long tour. So, like, I get it. Like, I get it. I don't know how I would. I'm not the type of artist where I have the power to be like, all the people that come to this shit gotta. Yeah, so maybe if I was in that position, maybe I would throw that out there too. But I just know from someone, people violate your space all fucking day when when they view you as a person in service of them and shit. So I get it.
That's a real American thing to do. Like, Americans violate space all the time.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm not getting it, so I'm not going to Lupe's concerts. The last one I saw was the last one I saw. I'm not saying I'm not going to ever get the vaccine. I'm just not with Merck or Pfizer or the speed that they did it. And I just want to see. I'm going to let everybody else be the test dummies. Like, I didn't get the iPhone 1. I'll wait till iPhone 3 come out. Let them work the bugs out.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the PlayStation 5 this week because I know it got bugs in it. I'm going to get my PlayStation 5 in August when they redesign it. So, everybody, I want y'all to go out there and take it for me.
I usually adopt that mindset with shit. Like, I let people, but
I'm not
going to be fur, but I'm getting it.
I will say this, like myself, and I threw a joke out the other day where I was like, yo, nobody's I hate saying it like this,
No,
but
say it, Tatiana.
ain't nobody getting inside of me without the vaccine.
Nobody's coming without the vaccine.
Exactly. And so I'm like, I think that like what I'm saying in regular terms is that because of how I respect my space, I would like for people to have that same respect for me. And when they do get very intimate with me or get into intimate quarters with me, that I'm able to make this decision based on this one thing that I'm asking for. You know, this is my boundary going forward. Like, I also think that one of the things that we haven't thought about, like, I think, like, even once the vaccine comes out, I don't know when I will stop wearing masks in public. I think, like, that is something that I may generally adopt.
You know, the Asians been doing that for the longest.
I actually find it comfortable.
Because the Asians had a couple mini pandemics before us, and that's why they was prepared for that, and they took it serious. We didn't take it serious. I've been affirmed, but I was one of the early people that said this shit wasn't real because I've noticed the pattern. And you could go back to the West Nile virus, swine flu. Every 3 to 5 years, somebody says it's going to be a virus that goes around. And then there's this giant panic. And then all of a sudden the government pays.
But we never get affected by it because we normally have.
No, you're right. But here's what normally happens. This is why I wasn't a believer. I'm not saying that I'm actually a believer in this one.
Yeah.
But the cycle prior to this was they always say it's going to be something. And then a $40 billion check gets cut by the government so that they can make up a batch of vaccines. I always felt like it was just basically a way to strong-arm governments into buying a bunch of stuff that they never wind up using. And if you are a conspiracy person, then this just confirms what people have been thinking the whole time. I don't trust the speed of it. However, once the first 2 or 3 waves of people come back and they don't develop mutant powers or they third eye, or they third eyes enclosed by nanoparticles, and you know, like whatever it is, you know, after G3, I think about it. But sorry, Lupe, I'm just not gonna be kick pushing with you, baby.
Yeah, I mean, even if I get it, I ain't gonna be at that show. But for the record, I absolutely agree with you. Like, it's sus as hell how fast they come up with this shit. I'm just picking I'm
picking
making
the battle.
Yeah, you know, that's
because I
what it
think that
is.
the emotional part of this too, like there are a lot of people who have not been in proximity with people, and the value of having like being able to communicate with people and like share space or eat with people, like fellowshipping with people, that mental impact.
I never appreciated it.
That's what saves
or
exactly. You didn't appreciate it until it was snatched away, and I think that some people,
I ain't like people.
they've been struggling. They've been really struggling. We're also in the midst of seasonal depression because it's getting colder,
less sunlight.
You know? Less sunlight. Like I'm of the belief that as I want to return to being able to be around people, you know, I recognize that I feel like it's my duty to take it, you know. And that's just, like I said, that's just me.
That's kind of where I'm at with it, too.
Yeah, like, it's my duty to take
I
it.
want to
Also,
get back to my job
like I
of
said,
being
hey,
around shit. So.
I done made some modifications this year, and I'm like, yo, I'm ready to, you know,
this
let
was
people experience them.
I feel that.
You fired, my nigga. You fired. I feel everything, and after we get the first couple guinea pigs out, you know what I'm saying, and they don't go full like Resident Evil, or then you know I think about it. But really,
what
it's
if you're
be
not
G3.
allowed to like work without it? Like, what if you are in communications with somebody, and like I said, I know that you all both operate in music spaces.
Yeah.
Like, what if
Live Nation is supposed like no? I've actually this is a real thing. Live Nation is already talking about it. A bunch of people are talking about it. And how do you leave America? Because like you say, work, essentially what's going to be the real thing is when this shit open back up, a lot of us are going to be able to get money with international tours. But will you even be allowed outside
exactly
the country?
because of how we handled this
That's
pandemic.
my only real concern. My only real concern is the passport access with it. And will I be able to pass through a port? And if I can't do that, then I may consider it a little bit faster because I just got a feeling that that's my life. Other than that though, if I don't get to go to a Live Nation venue, oh well, I go to the after party. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think.
And I know what a back door is.
What back door are you talking about?
Cancel. Just cancel. Recall, delete, bitch.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I just got a weird update on my phone. But one of the things that I want to talk about right now is we about to get into music theory, which is our portion where we review some new music. The first record that I would like to review is a brand new Saba and Tobi Lou. It's called Areyoudown Part 2.
Shout out to Saba. Shout out to Derek, Toby manager. I don't know if it's his manager, but
Both do their own production.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts with that record? Start with you, Clinton.
I thought it was dope. Not like a staple, not like a staple song or anything. Like that's something I play in the crib though. You know.
it's an album cut.
Yeah. That's a damn
But
good
album
song.
cuts is what I believe this industry is missing nowadays. Because album cuts is what makes me stay with you on the artist. Because I'm going to get tired of your hit record in like 2 or 3 months. So after I get tired of your hit record, what am I going to actually keep me in? And I like Toby. Like I said, shout out to Lotto. He a genius. Hey, he just got a new house too. Happy birthday, Lotto. Shout out to Lotto. Saw the new crib. Shit's dope. Saba is actually my favorite of the young guys.
Same here.
I feel like he's the most talented as far as an MC and a producer. And I don't know why his name isn't said as much as I believe he's earned. Like, it's not even deserved. I mean,
He's gonna be around forever. He's straight.
Yeah. Shout out
He's
to Saba.
straight. Shout out to whole pipe. Shout out to whole pivot.
Shout out to Pivot. Shout out to Lotto. Congratulations on your new crib, homie.
All right, and what about you, Show?
Yeah. I'll put that joint in my regular. Actually, yeah, I will listen to that in the crib on a regular basis. Yeah, shit fire.
I wish we could go outside.
I'm ready for an
and ride
album.
around.
Yeah, I'm ready for a Saba project.
I still like what Saba did on that song with J. Cole.
Yeah, man.
That song.
Saba get busy.
Yeah.
Saba
I make
gets busy.
sacrifice. I don't know what that first dude saying.
Yeah, but that joint was cool.
Yeah, I like Saba. I like that record too.
All right, y'all just gonna be real dull today. Nobody has any like shocking takes right now.
No. I mean that joint.
It was good.
Yeah, I mean the song didn't reinvent the wheel, but it didn't need to. Like, it's in a pocket. The whole joint is in a pocket.
It's an album cut, and it's the type of stuff that I actually ride around, listen to when I used to drive around.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I
It
used
sound
to,
like West Side.
yeah, I'm riding down the 290. It sound like
West
something.
Side.
Like, but then again, if I'm in the car, that sound like something I would play while I was riding around. It ain't nothing I play on the way to the club, but it's definitely something I play if I was just riding to the.
And it
north
sounds
side.
like a small comment, but that's an important thing. To have, some shit that's like purely like, oh, I want to ride to this shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
that's
ride.
a huge compliment.
Yeah, it's a riding track.
All right. Well, our second record is one of my favorite artists, Key Glock. It's called Never
Key
Change.
Glock.
Never heard it.
This just came out.
Glizza.
That's ridiculous. You just said you never heard of Key Glock.
I had me like a
Ayy, I'm $1 million nigga, bitch, but ain't shit changed. Yeah, ain't shit changed, but these goddamn chains. I be ballin' hard, I do this for me in the game. Yeah, going out like I came. And it's with a bang. Yeah, yellow bitch, yellow whip, yellow everything. Lemon squeeze trigger, nigga, I make lemonade. Yeah, my gang don't hesitate. Pull it and lemonade. My diamonds frosted glaze, bitch told me they're great. Yeah. Bitch, I'm a heavyweight. I get plenty cake. Let my effort penetrate. Get the fuck up out my way. You ain't talking about no paper. Nigga, you ain't talking about no paper. Shout out my gang, shout out my labor. Bitch, I do my thing while y'all just hating. I'm ballin' like a Laker. Yeah, I'm cutthroat on my trader. Sippin' smoking flavors, going up like elevators. I mean escalators, killers in the escalator. Don't play the gang in major, yeah, they come through and erase you. Yup, I'm rich as fuck, but somehow, bitch, I still take some, yeah. Nigga, I still take something. Bitch, I'm $1 million nigga. Ho, and ain't shit changed. Ain't shit changed, but the goddamn chain. Yeah, Nina on my side, I put Nina on your brain. Nina tryna bang, I let Nina bang. I been sipping scissors, switching lane to lane. Yeah, I kicked down the door and now I'm fucking up the game. 19 at Johnny Dang. Yup, I did my thing. And just the other day, I dropped a quarter on earrings. They like, Glock, you going crazy. Glock, you insane.
And shaking up with the cheering. We love it. We love to see it.
There is Never Change by one of my faves, Key Glock. I like the record. You know, is it one of the best Key Glock records that's ever come out? No, but it is something that, you know, I vibe with right now. And the reality is, like, I definitely appreciate what artists like Key Glock bring to the game as they reflect, you know, a different portion of the country, a different region, you know?
Yep.
And that's the type of shit that people like, you know, that they really, really fuck with.
Tennessee is actually, when people bring up the South, it's kind of disrespectful how much they don't bring up Tennessee.
I mean, Tennessee is the reason why shit sound like it sound now, because
you
of
got
Tennessee.
8-Ball MJG,
Come on.
you got 3-6,
Come on.
you got motherfucking
Yo Gotti.
Yeah.
Yo Gotti.
I go
you
new. We got
Dolph.
Duke Deuce.
Yeah, you got Black Youngster, you got all these
man.
folks.
Yeah, like Tennessee, people always make
And
the
of
South
course,
basically just Atlanta.
Of course,
It's not.
Young Dolph.
I know, I
Dolph,
fuck
yeah.
with the Dolphin. I fuck with
Of
Adolf.
course it is.
Of course, it's Juicy J.
J, of
timeless.
course it's good.
He
Yeah.
No, that was dope. It was another album cut. It wasn't a hit record, but
Well, first of all, we don't know what is a hit record right now because I think like a lot of their records they get like they for the shake joints, you know, stuff like that. But we can't. And I'm not in the shake joint right now, you know.
But here's the thing: what I say about hit records. Hit records are
We're not doing homecomings right
They
now.
hook you in, but they don't actually. It's like fast food. It's not a meal. You know what I'm saying? Like album cuts to me is a forgotten art that really made an artist. If you even go back to my favorite Jay-Z records, my favorite Nas records, I don't listen to the single anymore. I have not listened to the single off that project in 10 years, but I can tell you 5-6 other songs on there that I now would love more than the single. And I feel like I love when artists do that because that lets you know who they are on another level.
I think the equivalent to that for me that now is for me listening to an artist's album cuts is when I find out about an artist, but then go to their SoundCloud instead of going to their Spotify. And then I
You
listen to
find that
shit.
older
To me,
stuff?
them the album
Yeah,
cuts.
yeah.
A lot of times they didn't even be that old, you know.
No.
You know.
It's SoundCloud is good for them songs. You know you're not gonna get cleared. And
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
even feel like playing with Spotify
Yeah.
or nothing. So you just put it on my SoundCloud, get some plays. Yeah, I'm a big like even if you go back beyond hip hop, like I love Sade and motherfucking. And I'm not saying these songs with Sade and Anita Baker and all that, but if you really listen to it, them was just an album full of album cuts. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
And that's why
For sure.
that's why the music is timeless. So I'll. Shout out to Dolph, shout out to Paper Route, shout out to Toby and Saba. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, not the most exciting Dolph song, but like
Yeah.
if someone else throw that shit on, I'm rocking with it. I probably would never put that Dolph song on, but like not Dolph, but Glock. You get Glock under the right, like a real menacing. I like Key Glock under some shit that sound like Halloween. If that shit sound like Halloween, he go crazy. But yeah, that song cool.
And I will say this one thing that I do appreciate about Glock is that they still rock with engineers who know how to master their shit
that is
That is
properly.
true. His shit do be sounding good.
No, it came.
Dolph
through
should
the
be sounding
speakers
good, too.
properly. Yeah,
Very real.
that boy got a bird chest though.
So
Rappers be looking crazy. You don't see them with no chains on, or
Whoa. You just a skinny big head.
Yeah, they like Shea Birds and shit.
I want to now.
Like an owl when they showed you the
Put your
legs.
chain on.
I want to now touch on a story that you know, it had some ripple waves when it dropped the other day.
What's that?
So Chance the Rapper's
It
ex-manager.
didn't drop too many waves. He was quiet. He was quiet out here on this story. Go ahead.
Wasn't no ripple.
Chance the Rapper's former manager, Pat Corrigan,
Pat the manager.
is suing the rapper for a breach of contract. Complete Music Update
Hey,
reports.
Pat. What's up,
The
big
complaint, viewed by Pitchfork, was filed in an Illinois court on November 30th. In the lawsuit, Corrigan and his lawyers allege that Chance has violated an oral agreement wherein he agreed to pay Corrigan 15% of his net profits. Corrigan also claims that he's owed over $2.5 million of unreimbursed expenses supporting and promoting Bennett's career. According to the lawsuit, Pat
Net
Corrigan
profit?
and Chance the Rapper, whose real name is Chancellor Bennett, began working together in May 2012 when they agreed that they could profit from the music industry independently and set out to transform Bennett's music into a global brand. In 2013, Corrigan and his lawyers claimed Chance and Corrigan entered into an agreement that would pay Corrigan 15% of net profits from merchandise, tours and concerts, mixtape and album streams, and sales, branding deals and endorsements, and film and TV ventures. The agreement was allegedly honored until April 2020 when Chance notified Corrigan that he was terminating his engagement of Pat Corrigan and all entities controlled by Pat Corrigan. Corrigan alleges that he is owed over $3 million for commissions due to the streaming and sales of 10-Day, Acid Rap, and The Big Day, as well as proceeds from Live Nation touring and commissions related to Chance's participation in Season 2 of Netflix Rhythm and Flow. He also claims that Chance the Rapper fired him and replaced him with his father Ken and brother Taylor Bennett due to fan disappointment in Chance's most recent album, The Big Day, and underwhelming fan support for its associated tour.
Spicy.
You
Zesty.
know,
A mouthful.
I kind of, I was a little taken aback when this first dropped. I remember the first thing I did was I went to a room on Clubhouse with DJ L. I'm not going to any more rooms with DJ L because DJ L is clickbaitish. He the clickbait king. That's what he does on Clubhouse now. Because he literally sat there and was like, Chance got played by white opportunists, and just left that up in the title. But first of all, I was like, first of all,
Shout out to CAA.
And I knew that was gonna be.
Shout out to CAA and
I knew
Kara
people-
Lewis.
Yeah, I knew people was gonna take that route.
well,
with
hold
this.
on.
Hey, Kara.
But I think that, and I will say this. There were a lot
Hey, Big Head.
there were a lot of people locally who went in and had a conversation.
They tried to make it about race?
things. No. Where they came in and cut him off they cut him off with that.
Yeah.
And they was like, yo, L, you tripping right now.
you don't know
out
what
here
you're
playing
talking
for clickbait. Also, like, we don't want to get into the nitty gritty or the details, but we was there. Yo, Pat did work, Like,
Yeah,
let's not act
Pat
like
did
Pat
work.
didn't do work, yo. Like, and again, I've seen Pat. I know Chance, like, these people, they do work. Now, do I know the particulars of their business relationship? No. I don't. But I definitely do believe that, there is.
A
While this
15%
is something
standard.
this is something that,
You go 10, but 15
it's something
good.
that two, men should be dealing with. I've never seen Ken manage an artist. And Taylor, I love you, baby. But that's a different
Look, you see, I like the way you read it. You skipped the juicy parts and the selection details.
No, because I didn't want to get into,
Nah,
like people
salaciousness,
dropping
so-
opinion, and saying that.
It wasn't an opinion. What? I'm gonna fuck all that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go into
Fuck
that.
all that. I read the Pitchfork article, and when I read, and I wasn't there. Let me clarify. It wasn't like I was a fly in the room. I don't know. But what Pat said to me, and also it just sounded like Pat just wrote the article and just forwarded it. Whoever claimed to write the article, you're a fucking liar. Pat just sent you he sent you a doc file and you just cut and paste some shit around and added a paragraph. So the press release, that ain't even an article. The press release that Pat released himself, I know you did that shit, Pat, seemed pretty accurate. When he talked about how Big Day went, the time in the Big Day, how they had that huge tour lined up, and that the album just wasn't up to snuff. and the lack of work ethic that was involved, the lackadaisicalness, the ego, the vanity, the pride, and all that. Sadly, when I read all of that, even though I know it was a press release, none of my heartstrings said, no, you're lying. And if I set up a stadium tour with somebody and we was getting 100% of them, if I set up a stadium tour, no 360 deal, no label digging in our pocket, United Center, Madison Square Garden, Staples Center, so forth and so on, and we selling 30,000, 20,000 a night for 2-3 nights and collecting all the money. Because literally, if you set it up like that, you could just rent out the United Center like it's motherfucking Chuck E. Cheese or some shit. You just pay them their money up front and call
Not to
it
mention
a day.
merch. Not to mention
the merch and the 3 hats and all that. And I missed out on 50. It had to be at least 50 to 100 dates or something like that. Easy. $30,000. 30,000. Let's say 25,000 cap. Let's say $50 on average. So 25,000 times 50. What's that? 1.25 or something like that? That's just on the door plus merch. And then you do that times 50. My math ain't good. I'm not as young as I used to be, but I think that's 60 bands if it's just quick math. 60 M's, I mean. And I was supposed to get 15% of those 60 M's, which is 9. And all you had to do was turn in the album, but you turned in Big Day against my wishes, and I missed out on 9 M's because you just wanted to turn in Big Day?
On top of not letting me do my job of setting shit up.
Not letting me do my job, going against my wishes, and I personally miss out on 9 M's, you miss out on 60, and that's just on the American dates, and we ain't added in merch yet? Whoo! Whoo! Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Nigga, I ain't never had nobody fuck up 9 M's for me off.
So it's so much. It's so high stakes. It's crazy, right? To think that I'll take it to a different level. When you work with someone, you build something with a friend from the beginning.
It's ours, and then they say it's mine, but it was my money that started it.
And now y'all in a dispute with Mill. It's a crazy position. It's a wild fucking position.
To be in.
Yeah. And it's so wild to see it so close. Because you hear shit like this, at least for me, you hear stories about people in dispute for millions and like them people you don't know.
Yeah, it's
you
the
know?
randos.
Yeah. To me, it's a real testament of what this shit can be when you really get into, business with friends, or like when you really get into this shit, man. Because I even say at the level that I made it at, like, there was discrepancies with people in my circle off of not even a fraction of that kind of money, you know? Not necessarily that it was money problems, right? But like,
I've had discrepancies just because somebody hit a chick that they thought was outside their normal price bracket, and they got a new girl, and now they chest poked out. So I couldn't imagine them any M's on the line, and I couldn't imagine being somebody like a manager or agent or something that's not a creative. So you can't kind of just go in and make the album with them or force it. So you sitting there and you got all this locked and loaded, and you might have an Adidas deal over here, a Nike deal over here. You might be sitting on this deal over there. Your inbox is flooded, and you waiting on somebody to put out an album, and then they hand you Big Day.
It's a tough gig. And it makes me think about times where a bulk of my career I was working with a manager, and I thought about, like, damn, what times did I make it difficult for my fucking manager? Like, I remember one specific. I had.
You're a good guy.
You know, I had to. It was like you gotta re-examine shit, and I look at. I guess I can look at my 10-day. Not 10-day, but my Big Day moment.
Because I love 10-day, by the way. 10-day.
I had a project that was coming out to. What were you gonna say?
No. I want you to finish your statement, then I'm gonna bring it back.
Okay. It was like I was coming off like my second release, and that's when all the media attention around MTVs, you know, like the Faders, like all the blog shit, and get ready to build into the third project. And while recording that project, I was in the middle of my first long tour and like working on this album. And I remember finally getting home and like, you know, really scraping together this album, really for real scraping together this album. and then like sending it and like sending the folder to my manager, and she was like, I think it's too many songs, and I was just in my artist bag, and I was just like, and looking back, it was like, damn, that was probably a right synopsis. Did it murder my career? Not at all. Not at all. But like,
did you maximize the moment though?
I did not maximize the moment.
Yeah.
And of course, there was other things in play, but that was the main thing. I had to look at myself and go, damn, I really set her job up to be kind of harder, you know?
And I haven't had that. I know what that is. Actually, people have done that to me.
Sure.
Because a lot of the situations I've been in, we've been in groups or artists or whatever, but a lot of times I'm low-key wearing the manager hat.
Yeah.
And I've gotten things to that level, and it's about to take off. And you have that success that everybody else feels is success, but you feel like it's moderate. But then it's about to be that real success that's coming. And they put on that artist hat, and they do some egotistical bang stuff. And you just gotta let the moment pass.
We gotta do it, bro.
And then after the moment passed by, they come, man, Neo, I was tripping. You be like, nigga, fuck you.
Now, I want to take it back. We're talking about Chance the Rapper and the situation connected to this lawsuit from his former manager, Pat.
Right.
Now, Pat, in this lawsuit, they saying that he didn't get paid properly for any of the projects, that came out, G. Like, for the streaming ad sales of all of the projects, G. 10 days.
Because he want $3
Acid
million.
Rap.
So, I mean, he
Big
talking about...
Day.
That means if he want $3 million, 15% of that means it's $20 million that they apparently made that he didn't get a cut off.
It looked like the only thing he got cut off of was a coloring book. It wasn't that free?
No, because Chance had a $30 million year. So he had a $30 million year like 2-3 years ago.
What I'm saying is, but that was off a coloring book.
So they made I don't know. I wasn't in the pocket. I wasn't in the numbers. I wasn't there. It's all hearsay. But I'm pretty good at math. And I know a bunch of agents and managers. Actually, some of my best friends are like really powerful EDM managers. So I see it from both. Actually, my buddy took me over Pat's house, the guy I'm thinking about. So I'm looking at it from two different angles. From the angle that I'm looking at, if they did that to Pat, that's wrong. I don't know. And people could say what they want to say about Pat. I understand why he's upset. If we worked so hard, because I know it's Chance the Rapper, but he's Pat the manager. We built this together, and we worked this hard to get to this point. And all you have to do is deliver this album, and then I know I could press some buttons, and we could get 1 billion streams over here, and we could do this, and we could do that. And you turn in a project that's not your best, because it wasn't as good as 10 Day. It wasn't as good as Acid Rap. It wasn't as good as Coloring Book. It wasn't even as good as his verse on Ultra Light Beam. It just wasn't.
I wanted to read some of this other stuff that you didn't want to read, that I didn't want to get to at first, but I think it's important just for the context of this conversation. Pat stated that he was very frustrated with Chance and how he approached that first project. That last project, Big Day, because like I think he announced the project before he had even started the writing process. Which is
smart as shit.
nuts.
I've been there.
It's a plug right there. The one with the black one coming out. No, he announced it, and I couldn't imagine that. Because, my buddies literally, they set up tours for all their artists. Artists you never heard of that's doing $3-5 million a year. I know how much work goes in that. When you really got a good manager, they put your life before their own.
Yeah.
And to turn in that project after developing that tremendous amount of buzz, and then to turn around and let me go as if I had something to do with that?
Yeah, because then he tried to blame Pat for the failure or the bad reception for
because it wasn't what it was supposed to be.
But I think and I'll say this, I think a lot of people are trying to get into the semantics of, well, did this person do this person wrong? Did this person do this person wrong? We can all agree that the Big Day was a bad project. We can all agree that throwing the blame on Pat is kind of fucked up, considering that he been there.
I wasn't in the studio with you.
I'd even like to question I think that if I was your friend for that long and you tried to do that after your one major flop and throw the blame on me, I would be like, yo, that's kind of fucked up. At that point, I'm judging everything that we've done thus far and looking at this lawsuit. I think that putting those numbers together, it gets to a
No,
point where
Pat sound hurt in the pitchfork thing. I've sensed a lot of emotion in the article. I sensed a lot of emotion. I sensed a lot of hurt. And I'm not saying who right. I'm not saying.
But is he right to feel that way?
Yeah. And the reason being is real simple. If you tell me you're the artist and you want creative control and you want to do you and be you and all that, and I'm like fine with that, then you have to deliver. And let's just be clear. What I read in that article, literally like the last line, and this freestyled album was not the meticulous and witty wordplay.
Like I said, freestyled album.
He said the album was freestyled, and then, but the best part was you could tell
that nigga was Lil Yachty in the booth.
Actually, I like Lil Yachty new album better.
Yeah,
I just feel like if we have that type of relationship that you're creating the merchandise and then I'm turning around and putting the merchandise out for you. It's like if we selling dope and you give me some bad work and then blame it on me that I'm sitting on all this bad work that I can't move. Yeah. It's like, nigga, you the one that gave me the bad work. And then you try to cut me off because you gave me some bad work. That it don't work like that. Like what I hope happens from this though, on the positive side, they got the long one right there, the black one, the black thing. What I hope happens from this from the positive side is that Chance gives us the album that we deserve. And because we was just talking about Meg the other day and how she had 2 or 3 opportunities to put out these projects that didn't pop. And let's be clear, Chance put that out after that weirdo art, the weirdo jazzy one. Chaz had like 2 or 3 projects between Coloring Book and Big Day that did not do well.
But I say like and I think like, and I get it, saying, maybe he could focus back on the music, but I think that would also force him to really focus on certain things that may have changed over the last few years as far as him. He has started a family, and he has grown, but he's also grown apart from certain people, and he has like some strange relationships with some other people outside of just Pat.
Well, I think we got to stop giving this generation a pass, man. 7 years. When did that come out? 2012?
What? 10 Day?
Acid Rap.
Oh, Acid Rap.
2013?
Yeah, I think that might have been.
So we 7 years later. When Reasonable Doubt came out in 96, you go 7 years later in 2003, that's Blueprint Jay-Z. That's Blueprint. That might even be retired Jay-Z. That might be Black Album in 03. 7 years?
Yeah.
Like 7 years, that took us from Nas to Ether, my nigga. That took us from Illmatic to Ether. He's had more than enough time. Like, you've had more than enough time. You've had ample opportunities. You've been on ESPYs and all that. And Chance is really, when he's in his bag, is phenomenal. So what I'm actually hoping is that this pisses him off and wakes up the monster that I know is in there. Because he has, like, even when 10 Day came, well, not 10 Day, because I like 10 Day. When Big Day came out, he was on Twitter. People want me to kill myself.
Don't
nobody
say that. We just didn't like the fucking album.
Didn't like the album. It
That's
wasn't.
all it was.
It wasn't good. It wasn't up.
It wasn't what we expected from you.
It wasn't the standard that you have put out, and those 3 weak projects in the middle that people want to casually act like didn't happen. If I was making 15% of the money and I'm a manager and I know for a fact in my head that we play this right, we should be getting between $85 and $100 million a year, and you playing around being some weirdo artist making some music that don't nobody want, and then you put it out and leave me high and dry after I done calculated this 15. I'm supposed to be at Scooter Braun level. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Chance, what I don't think he realized is Chance is living the dream. To be able to be signed to a major agency and have major representation and have access to Live Nation and Rock Nation and React Presents and C3 and Insomniac on all those levels and be able to tour and get top level budgets, but you ain't got no 360.
Yeah.
You ain't got no manager. You ain't got none of that. You being able to make arguably between 75% of your gross and at the same time being able to do the same numbers, because we looked at Chance like that's cool. But what happens if Chance actually went double platinum? Could you imagine the bag that they get then? What happens when Chance goes double platinum and then they got the 100 City Stadium tour followed up by the merchandise deal with Off-White or something like that? Because, like, that's what I'm thinking if I'm Pat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, we going double platinum. Oh, we doing 100. We doing 100 cities.
Yeah, simple math.
We doing 100 cities. Ooh, then we going to Europe. Bam. Then I'm going to set up Singapore. Ooh, I'm going to set up Taiwan. I'm going to call up.
And that was the blueprint to get to that point.
I'm going to call up Kara. Hey, Kara, hook it up. Oh, she hit the button over at CAA. They just hit the CAA button. Boom. And then, oh, by the way, so we going to do the 3-hat. And then we going to go ahead and do a shirt. And we going to do a whole design. And then, wait a minute, we could just call Fresh Goods or somebody and be like, who y'all got at Adidas or who y'all got there? And here come this line and here come that line. And we didn't do that because you wanted to make the social experiment? Nigga.
Hey,
Woo! I be hot.
Yo, prayers up for the boy Chano.
Prayers up.
No. And like I said, I love Chano. Chano's like a little
No, I
brother
think
to me.
he's phenomenal.
Yeah, Taylor too. I want them to all be like
I want
fabulous.
Chance to take this shit and get mad
Yeah.
and put out the album. I want 11-day rap. I want Acid 11-day book times 2. And I want this nigga to shit on everybody and go diamond. That's what I want to happen. I want him to wake up to Tiger.
I would like artists to. I mean, it's this example just as an overall thing. We need to normalize crediting all the people that help you get somewhere.
Ooh.
We need to normalize paying the people that got you somewhere.
Spicy.
We need to normalize getting things figured out ahead of time before the art gets made. Just be on an even playing field
That's
with everybody.
integrity.
Just
It's
be on an even
normalized
playing
integrity.
field with people. That's it.
Just being upfront about, your
I mean,
intentions
but
with
they
it.
got online split sheets now that you could do right then and there in the studio. It's no like we in the future.
I mean, a lot of sessions don't start until, I mean, obviously you can't do the splits until the song is done, but like, I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, man, like,
give people their credit.
give people their credit. That's it.
And it makes you actually a bigger person. If people have allegedly not been given credit, it makes you a bigger person to admit that you collaborated with people. And to pretend like you didn't is ego. Because the greatest James Brown had 90 people in the damn studio with him. And he had Maceo over there, and he had Boosie over here. And no, it didn't take away from James Brown. It made him even greater because now he was able to orchestrate so many great minds and so many geniuses, and he didn't have to steal their work. No, that's Boosie baseline, and I'm James Brown. It's not an either or. You could do both. So if there are artists, allegedly, maybe even related to this conversation, who have not been giving people credit, it makes you a bigger man to do so.
Wow. Well, that's a nice way to wrap that. It's a nice way to wrap that up. So the way that we generally close out the show, what we got coming up this week, like what y'all got on the schedule, on your docket, we'll start with you, Neo.
I'm releasing a new record. It's
okay.
a new old record, but I'm re-releasing it. I remixed it because I'm finishing up the album that I've been lollygagging for a long time. But I've decided my official release date is gonna be for the solstice. I know that's corny, but it is what it is. So Gods of Egypt is officially gonna be done for the solstice, and then I'm moving on to the rest of the stuff. It's gonna be my last like SoundCloud only project. It's some underground shit. But I got I Used to Love Her coming out, and then the next week after that we doing Bitch Please. I'm from Chicago, so all this Chance and Pat stuff woke me back up, and I realized that wait a minute, people are making real millions of dollars doing this.
Ain't it crazy, bro?
And people, I don't know Chancellor like that, but I know Vic and Mike like that from Leaders, and I know the YCA people like that. So it's different. I don't know Pat, but I've been to Pat crib before. I smoked a blunt with Pat before. So to see this, it made me realize that it's real, and I want to take my chance. You know what I'm saying? So I got some music coming out. It's gonna be fun.
What about you,
Hell
Shaw?
yeah. Really, the only thing I got coming up this week is Friday, Twitch stream. I'll probably be doing more Twitch streams before then, but I kind of play it
By ear?
Yeah, I kind of play that shit by ear.
Are you gonna actually use Clubhouse this week? Cause I sent you an invite to some shit.
I'm gonna try to get on there.
And I was like, yo, man, come in the fucking room.
You hit me when I was in the middle of
I
a Twitch
shouted
stream.
you out, man. I was like, yo, show. I'm gonna ping this nigga right now.
But
I
you know
told
what?
man,
Twitch
people,
has become my Clubhouse.
I told
Twitch is
people I was gonna ping you in the room. I was like,
you
yo,
know Clubhouse about to get a lot of people fired.
but I told him I was gonna bring you in the room.
That
and
should
shit.
give me anxiety. Real, it's
But then I had a
even the
room
thought of that started
Saturday.
giving me
I had a
anxiety.
room Saturday, and I invited
I've
you to
actually,
that.
you know what's funny? People have called me in the real world
Yeah.
talking about your Clubhouse activities. I've
Shut
gotten
up,
real.
man.
I'm serious. I've gotten real world calls.
I'm gonna
about-
get in there. I'm gonna get in there.
Yeah,
Alright.
y'all have fun. I'm
I'ma get in there.
I talk too much, so I'm
Just see
staying
what's
off.
up.
Ain't nobody called you about my Clubhouse.
Yes, I heard that you was leading. It was a group about trans.
Yeah, I was talking to cisgender men yesterday about their responsibilities when
So
it
how
comes
the
to.
fuck
They
you
doing
gonna
the Lord's
tell me
work.
I ain't heard about the
Yeah,
shit?
huh.
I ain't even.
Nah,
on
and yesterday I
Clubhouse.
saw the worst like gaslighting ever, and then I saw like a bunch of I saw some women like defending the gaslighting when he was basically trying to put the blame on women, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on right now?"
'Cause
I had to step back
Good
and
job.
do some reflection because I was like, "Yo, these niggas is wild."
Did Morgan
G.
ever tell you her last? She really an Alamanazar.
Fuck,
I love
y'all stop
mine as
saying
well.
that, okay?
You name
First
it.
of all, there was a whole fucking colorism theme on Clubhouse this last week. So
No,
you joking
it's not
with that
colorism.
shit.
You
I'm
name
saying,
is Belcalis.
shut up, you joking with that, and there's people who think that I ain't all the way black, and then they be questioning me. Like, it was one nigga who got mad at me the other day. He was like, "Oh, you're really black," and I was like, "Yeah, nigga."
Wait,
I'm
actually,
black.
you should have said. Well, you should have just checked him and said that should let you know your ignorance that you didn't know that the Caribbeans was black too.
I know, but you don't need to
Oh,
hear that.
I wasn't supposed to
I
say
say
that.
both of
They
mine.
Taínos Indians.
Yo, you could get
Oh
on.
no!
They Native Americans.
The secrets.
Oh, you want me to give away the secrets? You wait before we close. You want to know why they don't have a census box? Did it ever cross your mind where there's no census box? It all says non-Hispanic because it's not a race. The reason why is because you're supposed to either click Native American because you are a Taínos Indian or whatever other Indian, or you supposed to click African because that's what they are. They just light-skinned niggas.
It's a really interesting way of looking at things, all right? This week I got I gotta do some more equity stuff. I gotta I don't know what else, I'm supposed to have a whole date scheduled
Okay.
You got dates?
Wednesday. Hold on, but it's like I don't know because the person coming from out of town.
Oh.
And I don't want to put
they getting flued in like
No,
a bad
no,
bitch?
Yeah.
First of all, they not getting flued in, they're flying themselves in. But
Oh.
They getting
I,
Greyhound in.
no, here go the thing.
Megabus.
I want to get them. I want to make sure that they get tested before I engage into because they into like some of the nasty shit that I like to do. But I want to be.
You better see video. You better have them send you video of the motherfucking results.
I know because I'm like, yo, I don't want to put my grandma at risk.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here like, yo, I've been really sitting here thinking like, because I love my granny and shit. But I'm like, yo, do I really love her this much to not get any action? I mean, it's been like 9 months, yo. I had to really like slap myself yesterday because I was thinking that shit. I was
You know
like,
what I'm
yo,
thinking?
No, that's you know what though. I
thinking?
will say that's admirable because there's a thought. You know what I'm saying?
no, I would like to be a thought. I would like to be a thought. Like, I had some stuff done, and it's like I won't,
You want a motherfucker to take a test drive of a new vehicle.
Yes, but yo, niggas is like,
You got a body kit put on and shit. You got
Exactly.
new rims and tires.
Exactly,
and
right?
shit.
Like,
I feel that.
got a
Turn this
brand new engine. G,
Right,
let's
vroom,
go.
vroom. Turn this V8 on, bitch.
Rev this up. You feel me?
But no, I love the
that
fact that
V12 horsepower.
Morgan, what y'all don't know is Morgan actually spends a lot of time taking care of her grandmother and is been hands on for a lot. And I remember when Morgan was very career oriented when it was in the Sherm era.
Yeah.
And to see you actually put your life on hold and take care of the family is a beautiful thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did that for my grandmother, but it wasn't for that long before she passed. And what happened though is, and I want your grandma to live a long life, but what happens is now that my grandmother is transitioned, I've had a lot of my cousins and family members come back and they've said that they regret for not flying out to Arizona and spending that time with grandma. And I've been so at peace with everything because we got to know each other and got to understand each other. So I know you was talking about your thought actions, but I just wanted to applaud you for putting your family first and being a priority, even though you met him on Craigslist.
Stop joking like that.
You can still do that after this shit crosses the
No,
sound.
it's people who believe that I don't have a family now because you keep saying this shit. And
You
it's-
can trade off Craigslist skills.
no, like I'm serious because I'm light and my family darker, and it's like, oh my God, what's happening?
Your little brother is literally like a foot taller than him.
Shut up.
Look like a Hallmark family. But no, I love the way you at. Your family holds you down, and I love the way you hold your family down. But
Well, yeah.
if you want to be a thought, it might be time.
But yes,
You have my
y'all.
permission to hold.
Another element: like, rate, subscribe, like. Rate,
Oh, you said it. I was gonna
subscribe,
say it. You said
like,
it.
Rate,
Share.
subscribe, like, rate, subscribe.
Comment below. Comment below.
Like, rate, subscribe.
Especially if you don't like what we said.
comment.
I'll comment back. I'll be in there arguing with
comment.
y'all. Let's get it.
Comment. Clinton just took some really thotty pictures of me, so we out.
Going up, baby.
We out.